Boston, number 7 on 32 thoughts. That was not 32 thoughts on the blog.
It was 29.
Elliot Freeman.
29.
Boston is, who cares? 27, maybe 26. He's slacking a bit. Come on, Freeman. Boston is also believed to be in the left defense market. Would not be surprised if they've checked in on Jacob Chikrin and Vladislav Gavrikov, amongst others. They've got special chemistry, and tampering with that can be dangerous. But this is an absolute go for it year because you don't know how long the group will be together. You also don't know how long you'll have your top two centers combining for $3.5 million against the cap, Bergeron and Krejci.
Let's be for real here. Trading for Jacob Chikrin is not going all in this year. You know what I mean? Maybe like both of them, sure, but Jacob Chikrin. I don't want them to get Jacob Chikrin. I don't want them to get Chikrin.
Oh, I know you do.
I don't. Neither do you. Neither do you. No.
I want the Bruins to be bad. But, sometimes there are things that are inevitable, like the Boston Bruins. They do beat the Leafs as well.
Yeah.
Man, that was Boston. This is coming off their first 3-game losing streak of the year. And then they come in and they play Boston Bruins hockey. Don't think Samsonov was helped a ton in that game, to be honest with you. Thought he was left out to dry for you, Tom.
Yeah, and he wasn't great.
That was Boston Bruins hockey. That's what puts them head over heels above anyone in the league. I want to double check something very quickly, but Leafs fan, what'd you think?
Again, I'm going to preface this with not every single loss is going to be a referendum. So not my view on this team really hasn't changed since October in terms of like what my expectations are for them, where I see them, blah, 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 whatever. Just to preface my next comments with that.
Okay.
It was a little demoralizing. Like I got to a point where I'm like, why am I still watching this? Like, what's the point of watching this game? Everyone's checked out. And I saw that on Twitter, and I want to be extremely clear. They do not have a single right to be checked out ever. You don't you don't have the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Like from my perspective, at least, they don't have the benefit of the doubt to be like, we're checked out. It's one game until the All-Star break, whatever. You don't have that benefit. You haven't done anything. As a team, you haven't done anything. Individually, fine. Yes, Matthews has 2 rockets, a Hart, and a Ted Lindsay. Mitch Marner is he's probably going to be top 5 at least in Selke voting this year. I'd have to take a guess wildly. Like they don't have the benefit of the doubt, because when the time comes and you add up all these, in this case, again, it's a tough loss to the Boston freaking Bruins. But when you add up all those points that we talked about last episode, and we don't have to rehash that, those when that number comes up, could be crucial points, unfortunately.
I will say the Bruins do have a game in hand over the Leafs. And the gap between first and second in the Atlantic Division is 13 points.
Yeah.
The Boston Bruins also are 7 points up on the Hurricanes.
Yeah, no, it's wild.
The Boston Bruins are insane.
Yeah.
That's so dumb to look at. Oh, that's so dumb. Man, the Calgary Flames are so bad, eh? Like, they're so bad.
Yeah, it's tough.
Disgrace of a hockey team.
It's unfortunate.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing with the Leafs. Those are games that, there's always more of a microscope on the Toronto Maple Leafs. As we know, we ourselves have one, especially on Leafs. We do. Hey, that's what we signed up for when we started this podcast, Alex, is Leafs and Habs.
No.
So here's the thing. And then mutual disdain for the Ottawa Senators.
And the Edmonton Oilers.
And the Winnipeg Jets. And Manitoba. Um,
Do you know who, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but did you see a certain person's tweet last night?
Ooh.
Someone tweeted, I love watching the Bruins beat the Leafs, something like that.
Oh, Jesse Pollock?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, shut up.
Man,
What
he
does that
plays his role.
mean?
He
Pardon?
plays his role. He plays his
He
role,
plays
man.
his role great. He plays his role
I
great.
think
That's why I
you
love.
know what I
That's
think it
why.
is, Alex.
What is it?
I think he's doing a bit on the Mark Scheifele, nothing better than beating the Leafs type thing. I think he's playing on that. Um, but here's the point: is
Yes.
there are games that don't mean jack, like when you play the Blue Jackets or the Coyotes or who's a really irrelevant
The
team
Ducks. The Ducks.
Ducks. And they have had some bad losses against those teams, but we forget because it's the Ducks. I'm sorry, Daniel.
I don't
Who
think we
will be back
forget
on
though.
Sunday. But here's the thing. The Bruins mean more, not just because they're the Boston Bruins, but it's because of the history between the teams. And if you want to win the Stanley Cup, odds are you're going to have to get past the Boston Bruins. Simple as that. If I was a fan, obviously these are two teams I don't like as a Habs fan, so I don't really care. I was a little upset that I didn't get enough fantasy points from Marchand. You bastard. Too busy tweeting at media members. Focus on the hockey game, please. But that's what it is, and you can't. Yeah, maybe you could say it was just a thing of coasting to the All Star break, which I think players are guilty of all the time. Some of them had their heads in the Bahamas or wherever they were going, and you can't do that. Good teams don't take shifts off. That's something about Sidney Crosby that's always been so inspiring about his play is the guy doesn't take a shift off, and that influences everyone else on the team. That's what greatness is. And that's just something that I think you can see throughout this season. The Leafs have had those moments where they've lacked the ability to be truly great. And that's part of a process. That's the thing of like Tampa, despite being at the point they're at now, everyone forgets, and I love mentioning the fact that they've been to a finals before this streak. That was against the Blackhawks where they lost, and Ben Bishop played with Hapagorn, and Tyler Johnson didn't have a good wrist. There's a process, and it's not something you learn like that. And this is something the Leafs are going to have to. It's achieved not easily. If it was easy to have that kind of culture, well then goddamn, I think you'd have the perfect sport or like the perfect
Sure.
environment. Just not realistic. And you just got to get there, man. They got to get there. That's what separates
When?
the Boston Bruins from
What?
any other team, man. And Tampa Bay. It's just built different. They are them. He is him.
No, I
How that saying?
agree.
What that means, but I'm assuming it's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I agree. And then you put the context of they've done nothing ever in this core has done literally nothing. The best achievement to me of this core is taking the Washington Capitals to 6 games. And last year was good.
True.
That's the best thing they've done.
I was going to say the comeback in Game 4 against Columbus,
No,
but no,
they should never been there.
Cool.
They should have never been in that situation against Columbus. So that's not good. Like to me, sorry, like whatever. But yeah, that's my thing. It's like, yeah, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. Like I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for like, I'm not upset. I'm just like, dude, like, where have we been the last 8 years? Nothing. It feels like nothing. It's all the same. It feels like it's all the same, to be honest. I can't wait to play Tampa Bay in the first round again.